Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That Wednesday, she in fact even goes out and looks at it and then just doesn't schedule anything for that Wednesday, just in case. So, I mean, and I know in the past when we ran into it, it's just a matter of, she's figures, we figure it out. And
Yeah.
she's flexible and willing, but she doesn't want to have to constantly be every single Wednesday. You know, if you think about it, you have the 9th grade class, the 10th grade class, and then a combined class, so. And the combined, it has second graders, which is why it starts at 6.
Right.
She doesn't want them there.
That's what she, yeah, that's what she was telling me.
But she's willing to move it. and
Right.
shift it a little bit, but she just doesn't want them there too late, because she doesn't want parents, second graders being home late, whatever, so.
Sean, what was that number you used? You said a certain amount of teams that
All of the 16, John. So like
don't-
Pine Island, they do play on Wednesday.
they do play on
Yes, they
Wednesdays.
do. Like Pine Island, Dover, Cotter, Cotter, a couple of them, Lewards, they played on Wednesday. Now, I'm not saying every Wednesday. I'm saying they have played on Wednesdays. Like, Pine Island's played twice on Wednesdays, and Broda's and other, and I gotta understand it's up there. But Broda's played 2 or 3 times on Wednesday. Like I said, 12 out of the 16 teams in our section have that where you can play on Wednesdays. Like I said, not, they do it early. But up there, like ZM and them guys are playing at like 7 o'clock. Like they'll play Stewartville, which we're not asking for 7 o'clock. Again, we don't want to inflict on Sioux. She got a lot of stuff up there. Again, and it's not just Sioux, it's other religions and whatever. That's great, but we don't want to infringe on them. We're just trying to find a solution to, like I said, one possible game. But I don't think with Crescent, I think in the same boat as us. Like, we could have played them. They canceled the one time on Monday because they didn't have umps. We were supposed to play them Thursday. They canceled on Monday because they couldn't find umps because they have a contract with Wisconsin, some weird deal or whatever. But we brought up Wednesday, and they were the same thing. It was 5:45. And I said, well, we can come over to you at 2 o'clock, but I think it was too late. They didn't work or whatever. So.
Well, the other issue you're gonna run into is kids getting out of school all the time too.
Right.
That's another-
We do, so 3 o'clock start, I would think, get out of school.
Right, that's what I'm, like, at home, if you did it at 3 o'clock, even 3:30. I mean, if we gotta be done by, the game don't take not 2.5 hours. I mean, it can, but I'm just saying, like, right. But yeah, it was, that's just what we're
Yep, all right.
trying to throw out to see if it sticks or whatever, see what you guys come up with.
Yeah.
We'll work with whatever you guys wanna do or can come up with, and like I said, Chad and Sue at Long Talk, and yeah.
My biggest thing at it, communication.
Sounds good.
All right, well, they'll take it up and try to find a solution, and if it's just better communication, or if there's something like that we can put in writing or whatever, we'll get her done.
Sounds good.
All right.
Might even be X Wednesday. I mean, if we can talk to everybody ahead of time and say, and it's usually, everything gets made up in May, so.
Right,
Some
Right.
Wednesday in the middle of May, find out when confirmation is, all that stuff, and
Yep.
say this would be either a makeup game or something like that. We can figure something.
sounds good.
And, you know, you have your entire calendar, laid out dates, so you know exactly when, March, April, May.
Mhm.
Yeah, Scott, like our schedule for next year is already kind of completed. It was just working a couple, like Scott's working through some things, but we have that schedule as well. Like you said, if me and Chad, whatever, sitting with you guys, Sue, whoever else it is, or whatever, we
I mean, I don't
easily come up with something.
I don't see a reason why, if there's a Wednesday lineup, and they don't have anything, but there's no big stuff going on.
Right.
Right.
That you can make your makeup game or have one then, but it's just a matter of communication, if I haven't said it
Figure
already.
All right, cool. Thanks for coming.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. All right, man. Okay, so consent agenda. Is there any discussion or questions related to the consent agenda? In that case, would anybody like to make a motion to approve it? Melissa? Whitney seconds it. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries 6-0. The action items, action item A, I think we might have screwed this up last month.
We did, but we hired somebody who was already hired.
The position that was already, yeah, the position,
It was filled, but it wasn't approved.
right, yeah.
Right.
So, well, if the position was already in position, we just appointed somebody to that position.
Okay.
With the letter.
Well, then I have to, we have for another junior high baseball? No. So Jeremy was already the junior high baseball coach.
Yeah.
And now we're, well, this is Wes Stemper.
This is from Wes. So Jeremy took the first JV spot, which is always part of the contract.
Yeah.
And now Wes is gonna be taking the additional.
The additional.
Yeah.
Okay. There's Mud, everybody? All right.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so there, any more discussion on that? Well, then in that case, Lee would move action item B. Derek seconds to approve the hiring of Wes Stemper, junior high baseball coach. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. Motion carries 6-0. And then action item C is something that we have to do every year. Resolution of membership into the Minnesota State High School League. Okay, Derek moves that one. Melissa seconds it.
Yep.
Right, do it.
Welcome to stay, but you don't have to.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
See you,
Thanks,
Sean.
Sean. Thank you, Greg.
Sure.
Thank you, board members.
Okay, so we have a motion by Derek and a second by Melissa. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. Motion carries 6-0. Administrator reports, Mr. Bowler.
Well, the first half, I have, Sammy has already kind of mentioned, but reminder, tomorrow is senior awards night at 7:00. For any seniors that are going to receive a scholarship. Invitations were mailed home early last week. So people know if they need to be there. Tomorrow is graduation practice, we do the walkthroughs through the through the elementary school, St. Mary's and St. John's, and full cap gown, everything for that. Then senior picnic to follow. A reminder for people handing out diplomas. Ceremony is at 6 on Friday, 5:30-ish. As we need to, you guys be there, make sure we have everybody ready to go. So a lot of work with seniors, as you mentioned, today was their last official day, making sure we checked and double checked and triple checked a few kids' credits and all that good stuff, but I think we've all made it. Been working a lot with summer school. That's going to be held June 8th through the 18th. We have ESY, or extended school year, that we're scheduling. So there's a lot of things that are going on in that regard. Take a little bit of look at the MCA scores. I haven't done a deep dive. Remember that reading is not going to be available until the fall. Math, we saw some good. I have not done a lot of digging into the science as of yet. And I want to take a minute and just say thank you to Katie Torstrom, who was on the agenda today. She got married on Saturday and will be moving, so we're very excited for her, but it's going to be a huge loss. And I also want to thank Marie Englefield for last year's service as a special ed teacher witness as well. So I want to make sure I recognize those two individuals. You know, we're moving on, but very thankful for their time.
Joel, any questions from Mr. Bowler? All right, Mr. Wallstrom.
Okay, just recently we had our Wax Museum Science Fair for anybody who hasn't been there. If you haven't had a kid in 4th or 5th grade, it's incredible the crowd that draws. Like if you drove by down Main Street when that happens, you'd think there were like 4 sporting events going on. I mean, it's just cars lined all the way down Main Street and pretty awesome. So 4th grade, for anybody who doesn't know, 4th grade, they do their Wax Museum projects every year. I don't know exactly how long they've been doing it, but for a pretty long time. So each kid picks like a historical figure or somebody, I guess I don't want to say celebrity, but usually it's a historical context type thing. Sometimes, like I saw Dwayne Johnson, The Rock this year, so I don't know if he's a historical figure or what, but kids they read a book about it. They do a lot of research, and then they stand there with a little button on their hand and you just can walk up to them and push it, and they kind of pretend to be that character and have to say, hey, I'm so-and-so, I did this and this and this. And so it's kind of cool. Science fair, 5th grade, very similar format. It's just a science fair project. They learn about doing research, coming up with a hypothesis, testing their hypothesis, results, and you see all sorts of really cool ideas that kids come up with. An example would be one this year. I'm thinking of one student in particular who did like 3 different types of soil, and the same thing was grown in it, and they had a hypothesis on what plant would grow the biggest or fastest in what soil type, and they control all the variables and all of those things. But they're always super proud to present it, so it's fun to be there and see them showing off their hard work. So if you get a chance to come to it next year, it'll be a thing again next year. Make it. We added this year, apparently years ago, and I'm doing air quotes because depending on who tells me that at the elementary school, years ago could mean 25 years ago or 5. We used to have on that night Wax Museum and Science Fair that each grade level had a project to present, and we brought it back. So again, cool to expand that. Now K through 3 had projects displayed all over on that night and I wasn't sure how much they would get looked at because most people are there for the Wax Museum and Science Fair, but they were looked at quite a bit. Like kindergartners grew grass and like had a little, I don't know how to explain, like a little picture of themselves watering it, whatever, just a fun little project for them to show off and stuff like that. So that was fun. Totally different topic. Mitch Mullins is going to be working with us next year. That was in the consent agenda. Huge props to him for being interested in coming back and working with the team. He's going to be working as an intervention para. What that means is essentially academic only, working with our intervention teachers. And then same goes for, so like small groups. So we have in our schedule, we have these like intervention times built into our schedule where, we give kids extra reading support at that time or extra math support and stuff like that. It's the time we pull kids and things like that. So he'll be doing math, and then Beth McDonald, who also recently just retired, she's coming back to work with us in that same capacity. So super grateful for those 2 awesome educators to be willing to keep working with our team in a totally different way. And our kids are super, super lucky to have any time with those 2 individuals in any capacity. I mean, we're so lucky that they wanted to come back and work with us in that way. So, and the data will show it to any kids that they're working with are going to definitely take off. So pretty sweet. That's all I have. Any questions for me? We have 5th grade promotion. It's like our graduation at 10 o'clock on Thursday. And then the hour before that is our awards ceremony. So we have like different awards school-wide. An example would be Mr. Burmister's, I forget what he calls it, but essentially the I think it's the sportsmanship award. So throughout the year, what kids showed the best sportsmanship in Phi-Ed class, and there's a bunch of different types like that. So
Did you say that's Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday morning. The 5th grade is 10 o'clock. The award ceremony, I believe, starts at 9 o'clock. So the hour before. And as you're writing that down, you just might want to double check on that. I'm doing that often. I think it starts at 9 o'clock. But certainly ask the teacher if you have a question.
Cool. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Ms. June?
Testing is done for this year. On my end of things, it went really well. Successful in my book, just on the back end of all of it. So relieved about that. Now just getting ready for summer. We have summer stack will start on Tuesday. We take this Friday off to clean and organize the room and kind of switch stuff out and get ready for the summertime with all the kids all day. We have a lot of new staff for the summer, but it's a really good group. I'm really excited. I'm just making sure everyone gets trained and feels prepared and ready to go. Caps Care is fully staffed for the summer. We've got some new kids kind of, I feel like, joining all the time, especially a few in the next few weeks. And then I'm working with Rachel
Cool. Questions for Miss June? Ms. Turkey?
All right, Scott was over at the softball game. He's at the back door, can't get in, but I don't know if we need him anymore for that topic or not, but I think that's what he was coming for. So, couple things, we're getting ready for fall workshop. We had that William Ruby come in and present on artificial intelligence for our staff last year. We did a survey of staff and 95% of our staff thought it was a really good, and hoping to have him come back. So we have him scheduled to come in August for our K-12 staff, and then he's going to come back in October when we already have an early out scheduled, and do something for the 6-12 staff, creating AI resistant lessons, I think is what he's doing in for that. So that's kind of awesome. Nate?
Did you mention the student presentation?
Oh, he's also going to come for a student presentation and help me with, it's like staying grounded. What
I think we decided that was gonna be 612 as well,
that's
right?
going to be a 6-12 thing.
So it's called, what's the title of it? Like Staying Human in an AI World or something like that.
And I believe the talk's going to revolve around how AI works, and it kind of creates this algorithm for you, and you can kind of get sucked into different things. And so they're going to have one of their people come and present in person on that.
September 29th.
September 29th. I know Barb's been finalizing budget stuff and working with that, and we're looking at different things. Trying to get things wrapped up for the end of the year. Any questions for me? All right, Barb?
The legislative session right up last night, still trying to go through some of the things that they settled on. Uncertain revenue was one of them, so we'll work that into the revised budget. There was a lot of districts that were gonna lose money. We weren't, but I see we're getting less than what we were anticipated getting about a month ago. So I'll have a webinar tomorrow, and I'm going through the final numbers on that and how it'll affect where it is. Rachel's setting in the final corrective actions on the CACFP program. We had some minor findings. And then we got an email today saying, which I told you about before, the food service program, that this year they're adding 3 audits into one, I guess, for the food service for the regular school program. And then Rachel's working with MDE and St. John's to get them set up to do their own claims, and we would do vended meals to them. But we have to wait till St. John's gets set up first before we can form a contract with them for the vended meals. Career Tech Ed, budgeted information was submitted to MDE. We set up a Quick Trip rewards so that our fleet, when they go to the Quick Trip gas, will now get some rewards on the fuel and the milks that are purchased there. We're going to be requesting a portion of HVED's student support personnel aid to cover our social worker, so that it's 100% covered. And we just had the health and safety and facilities meetings. I'm working on the budget for next year, which will be presented with the June meeting.
Good, thank you, Barb. Any questions for Barb? The new business, the school policy stuff, is there any questions, comments, concerns about these policies? Going once, going twice, all right. Board member reports. Melissa's good. Whitney, do you have anything for a board member report? You good? Yeah. Darren? All right. Scott, I think we're all squared away with the scheduling thing.
We're gonna bring it up on activities.
Yeah. You can work it out there. Thanks for coming, though. Take the rest of the day off.
We're just getting started. Who won the first game?
Yep, thanks, Scott. All right, and I'm good. In that case, would anybody like to make a motion to adjourn? Lee does. What's the seconds? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. Motion carries 6-0. Time now is 6:02.
So, gee, industry.